girls, grab yourself a drink, pull it up. We're going to talk today about why life is so hard. Well, first off, go eat a meatloaf sandwich. If you've never had a meatloaf sandwich with a homemade meatloaf and some mayonnaise and maybe a slice of cheese, you really don't know what you're missing. So the problem is, go eat you a meatloaf sandwich. You see, life is not as hard as we make it. It just seems that way. Now, if you quit worrying too much about everything that you eat and drink and what supplements you're going to take and what other people are doing and what other people are thinking, if you quit worrying about all that, life is pretty easy. Now, it's not complicated. I've been in some difficult circumstances in my life. I've dealt with a lot of difficult people in my life, namely politicians, lawyers, legal officials of all types. These are very complicated people. They're full of paranoid. They're schizophrenic in a way. Everybody's out to get them, and everybody's out to hurt them, that this is the world they live in. I worked in the news media. The news media, very much paranoid, schizophrenic, just like the legal system. And they know, they play on this. They know that people are scared people. And they know that people live their lives in fear. So they create content, television shows, to make you live in fear. Because they understand that fear is how they get your attention. And fear is how they keep your attention. And the more attention that you give them, the longer they're going to get you to tune in. The longer they get you to tune in, the more money they make. Pretty simple. And the more that you live in fear, the more you let the government control you. And that's the thing here, is not letting the government control us. We control the government. That's the reality of it. And when I say the government, I mean the entire government. You see, in America, at least the America that I was raised in, it was this: the government of the people, by the people, for the people. Not the other way around. Not a people of the government, for the government, by the government. No. In America, we don't exist to support the government. The government exists to support we the people. To provide us security. To provide us infrastructure. To provide us things that we need. If we quit worrying about the things that we don't need and expecting people just to give it to us, and we go out there and get it ourselves, life becomes a whole hell of a lot easier. So, I suggest start off by eating a damn meatloaf sandwich. Go get you a meatloaf sandwich. Make you a meatloaf. Some meat, whatever it is, beef, pork, a blend of it all. Put you some salt and pepper on it. Throw some onion in there, maybe some ketchup, mustard. Bake it for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Pull it out, let it cool. Make you some mashed potatoes. You can make homemade mashed potatoes by peeling them, boiling them, butter, salt, pepper, a little bit of milk. Or you can use that stuff in the pouch where you just add water and whip it up. Then let all that cool, throw it on a piece of bread with some mayonnaise, maybe a slice of cheese, and eat you a meatloaf sandwich. And enjoy every bite. Because when you enjoy every bite, my friend, it's like taking drugs. You just feel good. But once you feel good and once that wears off, it's still there. It's like drinking alcohol. Once the drunk wears off, the hangover is there still. So, just eat the damn sandwich. Feel good about it. Have fun with it. Don't worry too much about the consequences. Because in the end, the sandwich is pretty good. So eat a meatloaf sandwich. Relax. Enjoy life. Have fun with it a little bit. Stop worrying about what other people think. If you worry about what other people think, then you're going to be crazy all the time. If you worry about living up to some metric, some standard, it's going to drive you crazy. Why do you want to do that? Well, my young friends of the world, everybody's trying to sell you something. I'm not trying to sell you anything. All I'm trying to sell you is an idea that you need to go and eat something like a meatloaf sandwich and enjoy that meatloaf sandwich. Be real with yourself and with each other. Don't live in fear. Don't live fearing consequences. Don't live fearing failure. Don't live like the sky is falling. Because if you do live that way, it will. And you caused it. Take a random road trip. Pack a backpack. And just go for a walk. And wherever that walk ends is where that walk ends. Be a Forrest Gump kind of guy. Or gal. Whatever. Go with it, man. Go fishing. And don't make it complicated. Get you a cheap old fishing pole and a thing full of worms. And a few hooks and a few weights, sinkers. Maybe a cork. Bobber, as they like to call them. Go get you some of those. Maybe fix you a couple of drinks. Whatever suits you. Maybe make you a meatloaf sandwich. Take you a couple of meatloaf sandwiches with you. And while you're fishing, eat the meatloaf sandwich. Drink you a drink, Coke, whatever. And just enjoy it. And don't worry about all the rules. Don't worry about all of it. In Texas, you can go to a state park and fish without a license. Anywhere else, you got to have a license. You got to get the government's permission. You know, and they say that they put that money back into wildlife programs and stuff. I don't know whether they do or not. Probably use it to go and drum up votes somewhere for themselves by bitching about a border wall. But we can't worry about all that. Why? Because we could change it at the ballot box. That's the only place one day a year that we're going to change it. One day, election day. That's the only place we can change it. Because if you a common sense individual, they're not going to let you run for political office. So we have to use our voice. What vote we have. And they're trying to silence that too. Democrats and Republicans both are trying to manipulate the vote for their own personal gain. And there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to keep doing it. So, my friends, go eat a meatloaf sandwich. Or a meatball sandwich. Hell, if that's what you like. Go eat a meatloaf sandwich. Enjoy it. Have a drink. Smoke you a joint. Whatever makes you feel happy. Just do it. Because I promise you, your life will be a whole lot easier. And that's what it's all about. Life is not so hard. Go eat a meatloaf sandwich.